Hi, this is Fitz from KUPD. Today we're talking to Randy Blythe of Lamb of God and Corey Taylor of Slipknot.
What's the memory of Ozzfest? Just tell me.
There are no memories of Ozzfest.
Come on, there's got to be at least one. You remembered you weren't wearing shirts.
No, we weren't wearing shirts.
Yeah. That was the only thing you remember?
Well, we did. Remember the first night we did it, we ran down because Sabbath was still on stage.
Yeah.
And everyone from the second stage, we all ran down into the pit. We invaded the pit and we were singing, ole, 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 ole. And Ozzy lost his mind. Remember, he was like, yeah, and he's getting ready to take his own shirt off, and then he thought better of it. But we were like circling like that with our shirts swinging around. It was awesome.
I got yelled at a lot.
Yeah, we got yelled at.
What'd you get yelled at for?
Stealing golf carts,
Tipping
stage
over
diving,
those stolen golf carts.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Whip cracking.
You get called to Sharon's
Gambling.
office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did she like make you stand in the corner?
She was always just like, you've been an naughty boy. You know?
She has a way of really dressing you down in like the most nice, proper British way. She's like, now Corey, you understand that this is a property that does not exactly belong to us.
Yeah.
You can't exactly do these things. Beautiful woman. She will break your ass if she needs to.
Yeah.
Ballbuster, she needs it.
Amazing woman.
So, dude, how did Lamb of God end up on Jimmy Kimmel? That was like, how did that even come together? He's like a giant fan. He's just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if your band came on?
Jimmy and I grew up together.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we were next door neighbors. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right, fine. All right.
I was so ready to follow you down there.
Well
It's
done.
like, oh, yeah.
Hook, set, and swallowed.
I don't know. I was in Hollywood, and I was like, "Oh my God, this place makes my anus twitch." And I sent him a picture of it that said, "This place makes me want to put a hamster in a blender." So I don't know how we got there, but it was pretty cool. Pierce Brosnan came by to say hello.
Was it James Bond Pierce Brosnan, or was it Remington Steele Pierce Brosnan?
More Remington Steele.
We said
very
Remington
clean-shaven.
Steele. Actually, Willie and Chris made. They had a picture with him because they're like, our mom is just gonna die, have a heart attack, and she's in love with Remington Steele. He was the coolest dude.
Really?
Yeah. No, I don't know how we got on Kimmel. How did you get on Kimmel?
Bookers just hook you up.
They're just like,
so I'm
go
sure
for
it's
it.
the
Hookers,
same way.
what?
Well, hookers and bookers.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
depending on how
Hollywood.
you look at them.
It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood. One could be the same thing.
We have an opportunity for you. One of the things like,
So,
when you were kids, say if Kimmel was like Carson for nowadays, what was the band you guys wanted to see on Carson when you were kids?
I don't watch TV, and
There wasn't like, because some dude was like, Lamb of God's not supposed to be on TV. I can't believe they're on TV. They were so stoked to see you. Like,
I don't watch TV.
Not at all.
Never.
No?
when I was growing up, I remember I was really, really stoked when Megadeth played the Arsenio Hall show. And it was they played Hangar 18. It was really righteous. Yeah, it was a big deal because it was right when Rust in Peace came out.
I did at my grandma's house because she would have the TV on.
Yeah.
I did watch Soul Train sometimes.
Oh, nice.
And Fishbone was on it.
Decent.
And it was
I think I watched that same
because
one.
I had never heard of them.
Did they play
And
Everyday Sunshine?
I don't know what they played, but they were. Angelo had his cane.
Yeah,
and he was
yeah.
freaking out. And before Don Cornelius is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Fishbone," and the Soul Train dancers are like, and then they think they're gonna go do their thing and dance down the line, and at the end, Don Cornelius was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Fishbone."
That was Fishbone.
They just destroyed
doing
Soul
their
Train.
craziness. Yeah,
It was awesome.
Didn't know what to make of it.
Well, I mean, they're used to the Jackson 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And Fishbone comes
And
up there
I'm thinking if it was the same one that I saw, they were in full ska gear.
Yes.
Oh, right
and
on.
they were so all over the place, dude. It was amazing. It was really, really cool.
Something to seek out on YouTube, I believe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Something to seek out on YouTube. Do you think like Knotfest could be something that could happen for like 6 dates across the country? Where you could do like a couple
we're
of
definitely
dates?
talking about expanding it.
Right.
But my thing is, and we've had people come in and are like ready to lay down sick cash to turn it into a tour, and we're like, no, because we're not going to water this down.
Right.
This is a destination for a reason. It's
Sure.
quality less than quantity.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you guys do it right.
Exactly. I mean, if we can't make it a weekend where it feels like not only a festival but a carnival,
Right.
and really make it cool, then there's no reason to do it. So what we're looking at right now is making it regional centric, where
Exactly.
if it's, you know, if we look, what if we do Knotfest Louisiana and we can do it like kind of Day of the Dead or kind of like voodoo-esque, you know,
right.
or that we could do the place that we played in Darien Lake, and there's an amusement park there. It's right outside of Buffalo, and we could dress that amusement park like Knotfest and really make it like give it a darker tone. And if we want to do it that way and make it special and keep it special because the fans perceive it that way and we treat it that way.
Right. I can see it because, you know, like the idea that it would become like, not that it's anything wrong with the Mayhem Festival, that it becomes a Mayhem Festival, because when I started, I'm like, 3 days of camping with Slipknot? Fuck yeah, I want to do
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the first Knotfest.
Yeah, man,
And
yeah.
like, there's giant fire shooting into the sky and stuff, you know.
There's
and
rides. I mean, we've really tried to take it to that vision that we've been looking at for a long time, you know, like where it's really that kind of crazy, mad carnival vibe to it, you know.
That is
because
fantastic.
you know the fans love it. They really dig it. And we had a zip line at the last one, which was crazy. So people were zip lining while we were playing.
What?
And yeah. Oh, dude, it was the craziest thing ever. Like, it was really cool.
Did you zip line while bands were playing? Or did you have
I
a
was
chance?
not allowed to.
God damn it.
Because they told me is like, look, on the slightest chance that something happens, we're gonna need you to not do that because you have to play tonight. And I was
Right.
like, this is bullshit. All right.
Right.
I'm so mad right now.
I've never done a zip line.
I haven't done a zip line, but I've skydived, I've bungee jumped, like I've done all the crazy
me too.
stuff. And like zip line's like the last thing besides base jumping, which I don't trust myself enough to
No
do.
way, dude.
It's like,
No way.
I got it. I forgot to throw it. Ah! You know, and then I'm splatter mark. You know, that would suck.
There's a new zip line on Fremont Street in Las Vegas that goes from one end to the
Yeah,
other.
I know. Some of my I live in Vegas, so I
Yeah.
know some of my family have done it, and they're like, it's insane. And I'm
Why
like,
have you not done it?
because I don't like to go places.
Oh,
All right, I don't like to talk to people. You're lucky I'm talking to you.
I am lucky you're talking to me.
Very lucky I'm talking to you. By the way, shame on you for not wearing your KUPD stuff.
Oh, you know what?
Everyone
Take it
else
back
is
right
like-
there. Take it back. Oh, take it back, Corey.
Well, aren't
take
I
it
the
back.
fucking asshole?
Yeah.
You
And
know
it's
what?
not often I show my rear end to a man like
sorry.
this.
I'm sorry. Yeah, totally. It was like if I had a nickel for the last guy who showed me their ass.
Who was the last ass you saw? Who was the last ass you saw?
My own.
Your own?
Oh, I always check it.
Bullshit.
I give my own a little bit, you know, in the mirror. Absolutely. I saw it last night.
Every day you have to see fucking dudes.
Well,
asses.
yeah, that's true. I see a lot more of Slipknot than any of the fans would like to. Let's put it that way.
What is, like, you guys have got a lot of stuff going on beyond your music. What are, like, some of the non-musical stuff you guys got going on you're most excited about, Randy? Like, what's stuff, like, not the band that you're most stoked on right now?
I wrote a book.
Right.
You know, that's doing pretty well, and doing some signings with him for that, and those are freaking bonkers.
Yeah, a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun together.
I had a photography exhibit in New York that went really well, and at the end of this tour, I've been taking pictures all summer long because we started in Europe, and then I did book tour, and then I came out on this. I've been taking a lot of shots wherever we go, so I'm going to do a photo book.
His photography is incredible.
I'm gonna call
and
it-
I'm not just talking about because he's my friend. He is an incredible photographer.
Thank you, buddy.
Very welcome.
I'm going to
Touch
call
tones.
it What I Did During Your Summer Vacation.
That's
brilliant. I like that.
That is really good. That is really good.
And I'm really most excited to go home and go surfing and see my wife.
That's awesome. How about you? Obviously, he's got photography.
I'm a song that never ends, dude. I'm just excited to have sleep. You know, I mean, I'm like him. I got the wife, got the family, and everything. Got a new book out, and we're like you said, we're doing signings together. I've got a couple of movies that I have in pre-production that I'm working on.
Nice.
Just from a producing standpoint, I've written a couple of scripts that I'm shopping around. I've got a couple of acting gigs that are coming down the pike.
Oh, dude, I read about that. What is it? What is one of the things coming up? I read about it. I can't remember what it
Officer
was.
Down. It's Clown's movie.
Oh, okay.
That he just directed. I've got a part in that.
Nice.
That was fucking awesome.
Is
It
that
was
the one
really
where you
cool.
had the mustache?
No, that's Fear Clinic.
I haven't seen. Is that out yet?
It's out. Yeah, you can see it.
I heard you're just disturbing.
It's pretty weird. Yeah, the Chester molester stash is like formidable. By the way, it's pretty good. But my character was described as rapey right in the script. Right. So I was like, well, I'm totally growing a mustache, you know.
Yeah.
And it's full like Irish brutal coming at you kind of it's fucking awesome. So yeah, it's just to see the mustache. That's what it's all about.
Reasons enough to go to the thing. So,
Exactly.
So, Corey, what's like the best part about being in Slipknot versus the best part about being in Stone Sour?
Both bands are so different from each other. I get something different from each one, you know. Stone Sour's kind of like my Van Halen, and Slipknot's like my Black Sabbath, basically. You know, I kind of get to live both worlds vicariously, and the music is killer for both, and they're just such different approaches and vibes that, you know, I really get to kind of do carte blanche. It's why, like, everybody asks me why I don't do a solo album. It's like, I don't have to. I'm in 2 killer bands, man. Like, I really love what I do. So, you know, it's the music. It's getting to share that with completely different fan bases as well.
I can tell you what the best part about not being in Slipknot is.
All right, Randy, what's the best part about not being in Slipknot?
I don't have to wear all that stuff on stage
in
tonight.
Phoenix,
in Phoenix,
August.
Arizona.
I'm
in
fine
August.
and who booked this gig, and I'm punching them right in the gooch. It is fucking happening.
It was high of 109 today or something.
This
here.
is stupid.
And you're gonna cover your face in grease.
I know.
And wear all that stuff.
I did last night. I got through it. I mean, except for the dust, it was okay. But
Where was last night?
Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So last night was Vegas. Today's Phoenix. Tomorrow's fucking Albuquerque.
I heard tomorrow, by the time we go on at 8, no, it's supposed to be in the 70s.
Shut the you're kidding? What is it, our birthday?
I know, man.
You kidding me?
Because I was thinking, I don't think I can do one more after this, you know.
Because then we go to Texas.
Oh, it's gotta be That's great. The end of tour routing,
yeah,
right?
like,
it's
okay,
always like
last,
the final dick
your
in
last
the ass.
week,
Right?
you're just going to earn it. You're going to earn your ticket home. It's like, I hate you.
Yeah.
But that answers the next question. Like, would you guys ever want to Freaky Friday each other's bands? Like, being Lamb of God, being Slipknot. I mean, obviously he's not doing it.
I wouldn't want to have to do it in August, but I often wish that I could be in Slipknot back before people knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because I think it would be great to be like anonymous and have these, be able to
we could roll out and watch the other bands, like we could kind of do our thing, so we could go out in the audience and watch the other bands, and now it's impossible.
The last time I saw a band without it being sweated, it was on Halloween, and I was in Australia, and Australia is not, they don't really do Halloween for kids. It's just getting big there. It's for 20-somethings to get drunk.
Sure.
Yeah. So there's this big show in Melbourne, and my friends were playing, and I sang a Sex Pistols song with them.
Nice.
But up until I got on stage and took off the mask, I wore this skull mask. I had the best time being in this like rock club in Melbourne. Like just being a person, because everybody was in Halloween costumes and nobody knew who I was, and I was like, I miss this.
Right?
It was awesome, man.
Just
watching bands, just chilling,
So it's been like an interesting couple of years in both of your guys' bands. Like when I watched the press conference, I don't know you, but I mean, like as a human being, my heart hurt for you guys, and for what happened with you in Czech Republic, I felt like the coolest head in the room was the head that was on the block, yours. I mean, it was like when I read what you finally wrote about that, I'm like, it was such a mature and awesome statement. But I wonder, like, I know people have listened to your albums through rough times in their lives. Yeah. Was there any music you guys listened to in sort of those rough times in your guys' recent lives? Was there an album? What was the album?
Oh, during recent times?
Yeah, recent times.
Well, I didn't have albums in prison.
Well, sure.
But there were 3 songs that I sang while I was in prison on a daily basis.
Right.
London Dungeon by the Misfits.
All right.
Rise Above by Black Flag.
Cool.
And Attitude by the Bad Brains.
Nice.
Right.
And since I've gotten out and it's all been over with, I've gotten to thank members of Black Flag, Misfits, and the Bad Brains. And like your guys' music helped me through that.
That's fantastic. How about you, Corey? What's like some go-to albums when it's looking a little grim?
I mean, I found myself listening back with different ears to our music, actually, which was kind of bittersweet, I mean, especially in that the first year where everything was really kind of weird for us. But then after that, I started really kind of digging into a lot of the stuff that Paul loved, which was the stuff that we kind of bonded on, was just listening to like Cro-Mags and like all like a lot of the gutter punch stuff that he really, really loved. And then, kind of listening to the bands that like, Lamb of God, Hatebreed, the bands that we all loved and then we brought on the road with us because we just loved touring with them. So that kind of got me through it. It was just kind of sharing what my friend loved. And then we, because me and Paul were roommates for a while before we got signed. He was living in my apartment, and we would have Bro Down Fridays where we would just listen to music all night, and then we would watch the worst movie we could find, and then just rip it to shreds, kind of like MST3K.
Right.
So we really bonded over like music like that. So I found myself kind of gravitating more towards that, and it was weird because it all kind of came full circle by listening to our music and me kind of discovering where ours came from.
Interesting.
And a lot of like the different mixtures and emotions and the styles that kind of make us up. So it was weird. It was almost kind of like a reverse Journeyman's kind of vibe that I didn't really. I shared with a couple guys in the band, but not a lot, and it was that's kind of what kept me going.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that.
That's all good.
A lot of bands right now, they go on a tour and they play the whole first album. Is that something from like beginning to end? Is that something either one of you would be interested in?
We've threatened to.
Yeah. We're gonna play the whole first album, man.
We had a re-release of our second record, and like our drummer wanted to play the whole record, and I'm like, no.
I think I don't know. We had an idea that, well, I won't tell you just in case we do it.
Oh,
but I mean, it was
on,
a kind of a cool.
us.
It was the first 3 albums in 3 different clubs in one day. Where we would set up
right
the first album in one club, Iowa in another club, and then Volume 3 in a totally different club, and then we would literally blast through, no talk, no crap, blast through one, get in a van, drive to the next one, blast through that one, get in a van,
well, you could
blast through
change
that,
masks.
and we would change into all the stuff that we wore on those albums. So, and I've told you now. See, I wasn't going to tell you now. I don't know if we'll ever do it, because I don't know if I could get through it.
Right. Seriously, 3 shows in one day.
3 shows. I mean, I've done worse. I've done. I did a Stone Sour and a Slipknot gig, not back to back, but with like a couple hours in between, and it was interesting to say the least. But it would be something I would definitely give it a go. But it would have to come after like rehearsals and having a couple days off just to kind of get the pipes back together.
One last question. I saw when you played the Junk Beer Kidnap Band.
JBKB, yeah.
Yeah, you brought that here and did a show for us, and it was cool as shit, dude, because it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Well, and
it kind of shocked everybody at first.
It did shock everybody.
Because everybody was like, what in the hell? Because it was basically a cover band, and they offered me somebody offered me the headlining spot. I was like, no.
I think it was Larry said, do you want to headline? Yeah, Larry.
And I was like, absolutely not. We're a cover band. We're not going to headline this thing as a cover band, especially with all of these other like established
real
bands.
bands.
Exactly.
Real bands are making real music.
Right.
Not that it's not real music, but their own music.
But it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. Was there a question? Or was it?
Rock music nowadays, it can be like cathartic or powerful, intellectual, but it doesn't ever seem like fun. Like band, or like are there like think of like fun bands like Danko Jones. Like maybe some like the old bands from the 80s. Do you think there's space for fun music in rock and roll where it's just like party music?
Well, it depends on what fun is.
Like fun, like say like a band like Danko Jones
or
Wilson.
Clown's idea of fun is different.
Yeah. Clown's idea of fun is completely different.
Right.
It's, putting shit bombs together and throw them in the audience, spraying everyone with turds. That's fun to him.
Well, he went out in the audience in one show. I remember I was saying there, and he just walks out in the audience on this tour and takes a full garbage can just full of a bunch of stale beer and vomit and whatever, and dumps it over his head.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and you could smell him coming
now he's passing candy out to people in the back. It's so bizarre.
He's so he's so like delicate.
Yeah. It's so funny.
And then it's like you have a baseball bat and you're snot all over your mouth. It's very strange.
I think I get what you're saying.
No, because I'm not talking about fun like that. I'm talking about like party music. Yeah, exactly.
Like
party music.
Well, there's Steel Panther, obviously.
Oh,
yeah. A blast.
Yeah.
They're probably one of my favorite live bands.
Right.
Stone Sour kind of has that vibe.
It does. It absolutely does.
Without being like super, hey, hooray,
right.
And I think that's why a lot of people have to do it a certain way because people are really tired of yay, hooray, because it can feel very canned. It can feel very pretentious, and it can feel like you're really trying to push a good time on us, you know? Now, if you understand what's going into it, going to the show, you can absolutely open up and have a good time with it. But I don't know if that kind of two-dimensional vibe would work in this world now, man. It's a much more complex, and not that 20 years ago, 30 years ago wasn't complex, but people weren't bombasted by it every day on social media, on the news, on this and on that. It's just a much more comprehensive world that we live in, and you can only do that so much before people go, really? They get very cynical. So I don't know, but maybe that's just me.
What do you think, Randy?
Is there room for fun?
It doesn't feel like it in rock and roll. Rock and roll seems like serious business nowadays. Bands have got to be talking about serious things, serious emotions. There's not just a time to like, you know what? We're going to have some beers. We're going to have a bro night. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of room for rock and roll right now.
Well, I mean, in my band, we're a pretty serious band because we have been from the beginning, you know. But I often would love to do something just fun, so I think there is room, you know.
I mean, as long as there's bands like the Aquabats and stuff like that, which is a great band.
Mastodon has fun.
Mastodon has a lot of fun.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they may seem very serious. Those guys are fucking crazy people. Like they're a lot of fun.
That is fantastic.
Don't know. You can only be grim for so long.
Exactly. And it feels like it's been very grim since the 90s. Like, you know, like there was a change in music where, like, if you think of like the 70s and 80s where it was, as you said, it got to be too much. The party had to end, but nowadays rock is almost like it's monastic. Like they expect you to be D. Randall Blythe. You have to be Corey motherfucking Taylor. Like, I mean, like one-dimensional is like, don't you want to like
There's
have a little
time
more
and a place for it.
Time and place.
Like,
I mean, if you look at it, I suppose you could look within our sort of genre. The band that I would remember that was ripping and aggressive live but had a lot of fun was Pantera.
Oh yeah,
right,
right, man.
You know what I mean?
That was a party and a kick-ass,
like,
you know?
And they were singing about some dark stuff at times, but at their height, when everybody was all getting along good, it was a real big party. It
was a good time.
Real good time. So I think there's a balance you can strike.
Yeah.
We will never strike that balance in my band, but maybe in something else.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your time.
Very well. It's all good, man.